Hi, I'm Jim with Pour the Juice, and in this video, I'm reviewing E.H. Taylor's small batch of Bottled and Bond, reviewing and rating, actually. And as you see, I'm in a different area. I'm recording somewhere new today. I know the lighting's not great, but I am working on it. In my whiskey room, in my basement. I've been shoved down there by the wife. Uh, it's okay, though. I prefer being around my whiskey when talking about whiskey. I hope my whiskey likes it. Anyway, if you've watched any of these other videos, you know, I'm going to cover up the score first. I have quite an extensive rubric for my grading. I grade out of 100, and I'm a bit of a stiff grader, but that's okay. I'm going to go through real quick how my grading works. Flavor is out of 40 points. It's broken into 4 different subcategories. Nose is out of 15 points, broken down into 2 subcategories. And then we have value, complexity, balance, and uniqueness. The last 3 are out of 10 points, and value is out of 15. Altogether, it's a 100-point scoring system. Right now, out of the 5 bottles that I've scored previously, they've come in between 78 and 66.5. Haven't had any really great bottles that I've reviewed. Haven't had any terrible bottles that I've reviewed either. But yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to start with value. I prefer to start with value just because it's a little bit easier to get to. I can actually, work on value before even tasting a whiskey. And that's really what this category is about for me. It has nothing to do with the flavor. So value to me is based on the price of what you're getting for a whiskey. So in this case, and I'm going by MSRP. I'm not going by secondary prices. Secondary prices change all the time. If you want to know what I think about a price for a bottle and if you should buy it, I'll give you my opinion. Just put it in the comments below. But in this case, MSRP on E.H. Taylor is $55. So what do you get for $55? You get a 100 proof Bottled and Bond whiskey. Is there anything special about it besides that? No, not in this case. So in previous bottles, it may have been a wheater. So a Bottled and Bond wheater is a little bit more hard to come by than a typical Bottled and Bond whiskey. So I give more points for the special stuff, less points for regular old run-of-the-mill. So in this case, a value for a $55 whiskey at 4 years, because that's what I can assume. There's no age statement on the bottle. Bottled and Bond means it's a 4-year-old whiskey at least. It could be older than that. There's rumors saying it's from 4 to 7. But from the only thing that I could tell on age for this, since there's no age statement on the bottle, is it's at least 4 years old. So because of that, I give this an 8 out of 15 for value. Now, if they come out and they say, hey, E.H. Taylor is actually 10 years old, then that would bump up the value quite a bit. But seeing as how the only thing I know is it's at least 4, value right now, 8 out of 15. Now, let's start with nose next. Like I said, nose is out of 15 points, 10 points for pleasantness, 5 points for intensity. This whiskey, as far as intensity goes, isn't so intense that it's filling up the room. It is intense enough where if I get close to it, I can gather lots of interesting smells from it. It smells great. I don't have trouble with it. I don't have the best nose. I got COVID a few times back in the old day, and it still has trouble working a little bit. Because of that, I know that it smells pretty intense, especially for a 100-year Bottled and Bond. So I'm giving this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I don't think it deserves the 4. A 4 to me would be super intense. A 5 is I have this in the room and I can smell it. I'm not even close to it. So I think a 3.5 is fair. As far as pleasantness, I love Mash Bill 1 of Buffalo Trace. So regular Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor, Stag, Junior, Stag, George T. Stag, whatever. Yeah, I love them all. So this, to me, on pleasantness, it's going to get an 8.5 out of 10. Now, you may disagree. but I love the nose on some E.H. Taylor. And so it's getting an 8.5 for me. There are ways to make it better. I do prefer a little bit of a darker fruit on the nose, which is why I kind of prefer Stag's nose, I should say. It also, Stag specifically, sorry, there's beeping from my oven upstairs, distracted me. Stag also has some cola notes to it, and I prefer cola compared to what I'm getting here, which is more of like a grape Laffy Taffy and stone fruit. Trying to see what else I get. Maybe a little bit of cherry, or like fresh cherry. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if I wanted to increase this from an 8.5 out of 10, it would need some of those darker fruit nose flavors. Sorry, I hit my head before. My brain's not working as well as it should be. Let's go to flavor. Nose total was 12 out of 15. Flavor time, viscosity, I am giving this a 7 out of 10. It was actually pretty viscous. It's not on the great end of viscosity, but it's pretty viscous. Next would be finish, and I think the finish is actually fantastic. It's still going. It's very pleasant. It's almost like it almost has like a fruit salad aspect to this finish. At least this batch does. It's really great. So I give that an 8 out of 10. Intensity, it's 100 proof. It's not going to be crazy intense, but I also give it a 7 out of 10. It's way better than average intensity of flavor. It's just not at that great level. And then pleasantness, like I said, I love E.H. Taylor. This is my go-to for a daily drinker. Like if I had to pick anything, it's going to be an E.H. Taylor small batch. So pleasantness, I give it a 9. Now, I understand that people will disagree with that, and that's okay. But for me, this is almost perfect for what the pleasantness scale delivers for flavor. I can delve into that more if anybody would like. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. Next, we're going to go to complexity. And this is where E.H. Taylor falters a bit to me. I don't think it's complex. I think it's very simple. Maybe that's why I love it. I give it a 5 out of 10. So completely average. I don't think it's not complex because there are, like I mentioned, there's a lot of different sugar components and fruit components in there. But it's missing quite a bit as well. It's missing dark fruit components. It's missing a lot. So I don't think it's not complex. I don't think it's simple. But I also don't think it's complex. So it's right in the middle, 5 out of 10. Balance-wise, I think it's very balanced for what's in here. So you have to take apart complexity and balance. Balance to me is if you're tasting this glass, is anything that much more face front, in your face compared to the other flavors. And I don't think that's the way it is. I get those fruit flavors. I get vanilla. I get a little bit of caramel. And to me, they're balanced very, very well. Even all the fruit flavors, I think, are balanced fantastically. So I gave this a 9 out of 10 on balance. And then uniqueness, this is coming down to like a little bit with value as well. This is a bottled in bond product. So by that nature, I do think it is a little bit more unique than the average bottle. If this was just 100 proof and wasn't bottled in bond, it would be less unique. If this was 96 proof, it would be less unique. If this was just 105 proof and wasn't bottled in bond, it would be less unique. Having said that, there are far more unique bottles than E.H. Taylor small batch. So I give this a 6 out of 10 for unique. And altogether, the final score for E.H. Taylor small batch bottled in bond is going to be 71 out of 100 points. So this is currently coming in fourth for me of my, this is now 6 full reviews. Barrel 37 came in at a 78. Old Granddad Bottled and Bond 7-year came in at a 73. Jefferson Cask Strength came in at a 72.5. Now this at a 71. Old Fitz Bottled and Bond 7-year at 68.5. And Evan Williams Bottled and Bond 66.5. So it's kind of right in the middle there. Fourth out of sixth. But that's okay. If you agree with me, thumbs up the video. If you disagree with me, thumbs up the video. And either way, you should subscribe. I'm going to keep putting out content. I'm going to do more reviews. I'm going to do more blinds. Wifey Wednesday is here to stay. And I will get back to doing store hunts, hopefully soon. It's just been a little tough recently, but I'll get back there. And yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.